Let's bring in a real superstar, Dan Bongino, host of Unfiltered with Dan Bongino. Dan, good morning. Take it anywhere you'd like. Maybe start with that video, very candid, authentic, of Joe and Kamala.
Well, listen, it's Saturday morning, and I get up with you guys, too. I've been watching you guys all morning. And, Rachel, love the glasses. With due deference to my good friend Sean Duffy, it's a great look for you. He's on my show tonight. So it is a good look. I wake up with you guys, and I know, Saturday mornings, no one wants to hear any bad news. But just for a moment here, reflecting on their comments, Biden and Harris, that we're somehow in this wonderful spot, this transformatively good place. I'm really worried, like you on the couch, all of you passionately love this place. Pete, you fought for this place. You pledged your life for it. Where else are we going to go? I mean, we don't have any place else to save. So, where are you going to go? Canada? I mean, they're being led by a tyrant of their own in Trudeau. You've got AMLO down in Mexico, who's a straight-up communist. We've got this place. And the fact that we have people in charge is where I'm going with this, who are so deluded that they believe that, record mental health crises in schools, hundreds of thousands of kids dying of fentanyl, a literal invasion at our southern border, international chaos in Ukraine, inflation we haven't seen in 40 years, real wages down 1.5% to 2%, meaning you're making less money, a stock market in turmoil, a public safety crisis in the streets, and our public schools failing our students is some kind of transformative moment, scares the living, you get the point, out of me. Because they must know this isn't true. And my fear, guys, is not that these two idiots, that they don't believe that. They know that they're doing this on purpose. Destruction is the point, right? It's a feature, not a glitch. My fear here is, having grown up in David Dinkins' New York City, which was a chaotic mess before Giuliani took over, that people are actually starting to embrace the suck. It was a term we had in the Secret Service when things were really bad and you didn't have a choice. It's like, listen, just embrace the suck, okay? You got to fix it, okay? People are starting to embrace it. They watch thousands of people per day, if not tens of thousands, walking across our border, and they're like, oh, yeah, is this footage from last week from Bill Malugin's drone or today? Like, no one even knows. They're like, oh, 6.5% inflation last month, which, by the way, would have been the highest number in 40 years, if not for the prior months. They're like, yeah, it's not too bad. It was 9% last. I'm really worried that people are starting to embrace the suck, and it's not bad enough for them yet to change things.
I mean, they're playing with fire, Dan. I mean, as Will said, any one of the terrorists that did get through, and we know many have, something could happen. What is their calculation? What is the why? Why are they doing this? Because people at the border say they know this is intentional, but what is at the heart of it? Why are they opening our border and risking a terrorist attack?
Yeah, I know. It's a good question. I talk about this on my podcast all the time. People think in narratives and stories and analogies. Sometimes I find some of the brightest minds of our time are a lot smarter than me, IQ-wise. They overanalyze and overthink things. This is simple chaos theory by the communist socialist left. I think of it in an analogy to the Walking Dead. You ever see that zombie show? The world's taken over by zombies. There's a few survivors left, right? And there's this one episode where the survivors voluntarily find refuge in an abandoned prison. Now, who voluntarily walks into a prison and locks it and imprisons themselves? And the answer is people who are afraid of what's on the outside, the zombies. That's why Democrats, I don't want to say Democrats, I don't want to paint them with a broad brush, liberals specifically, they embrace chaos, Antifa in the streets, chaos at the border, public safety crises. They do nothing about it. They make it worse because when you get this chaotic environment, people will walk voluntarily into an ideological prison and allow their civil rights to be taken away. It's the exact same thing they did with the COVID Great Reset model. They literally wrote a book about these globalists where they used the chaos of COVID to get you to break down the idea that you were actually sovereign over your own body. That you will inject this vaccine. And people were so afraid, they said, okay, and they just complied. And now we're seeing the horrors of that for a lot of that. Right. It's the Walking Dead theory. Don't ever forget it.
It's absolutely
I remember that, Dan.
I believe it. I believe
that
it.
Was
100%.
a smart. That was a great analogy, and that was during a smart season of The Walking Dead. When it actually, I kind of quit on it, Dan. I quit on it after a while.
Yeah, me too. But it kind of died after that.
But how metaphorical, right? That season, lock yourself in a prison to protect yourself from what's outside. And there's one more level to your analysis, I think, though. Why would they want to have everyone volunteer voluntarily lock themselves up. And it's because we can't overlook that there is an anti-human philosophy behind this, an antipathy towards your fellow man that is revealed. By the way, it's not a conspiracy theory. You don't even have to look very deep. It's written in books about overpopulation. There's too many of us. We're all too free and too chaotic ourselves. So that's part of it, believing humanity in and of itself is a problem. Therefore, let's get them to lock themselves up in the ideological prison.
Yes, exactly. It's the idea. Listen, just listen to the liberals talk. If you're not convinced what Will said is true about liberalism in essence being anti-human, listen to the way they talk about people, deplorables, the big smellies, the rednecks, the hayseeds. They talk about you like you're idiots because they see you as a proliferating virus that's a danger to this Mother Nature, atheistic God they have, Mother Nature. And when you combine the fact that they are fundamentally anti-human, they see you as a virus, with this very dangerous component, because that one thing is not going to help without the next for them. The next part's critical. There's no emergency brake on their behavior, unlike there is for us on the couch and me here. We believe in big R, God-given rights for everyone. It stops us from doing bad things to you liberals. Thankfully, we can't do that. God-given rights prevent us from doing that to you. You have to understand, the essence of liberalism is the opposite. They see you as a virus, and they see nothing getting in the way from stopping them to doing bad things. Remember, we think liberals are people with bad ideas, right? They think we're bad people with ideas. That's a totally different thing. That's why they never argue on principle. Principle doesn't matter. The hypocrisy doesn't matter to them. Everything to them is about power and subjugating this human virus. And when you listen to them talk, it is evident. And my chaos theory about it explains everything. That's why they love forcing chaos and fear on you, for you to walk into their ideological prison and leave your civil liberties at the door.
And the answer is to fight back. And the other answer, love your family and have babies.
It starts at home. Rachel,
starts at home.
Listen, whatever you think of Jordan Peterson, man, he's got that great book about the 12 points. He says, listen, make your own bed first. I had a lady once in a diner ask me, what do we do to fix this? I said, you talk to your grandkids? She goes, no, they're kind of left-leaning. I don't want to alienate them. So let me get this straight. You want to save your country, but you don't want to save your own grandkids?
Yeah.
It starts at home.
Exactly right.
Andrew Breitbart said it right. Politics is downstream of culture.
Yeah.
If you don't understand that, get out of the business. You're in the wrong game.
Yeah.
Bingo. Well, you're in the right game, Dan. And what do you got on your show tonight on Unfiltered?
Well, I got this guy, Pete Hegseth, and this other guy, Sean Duffy, who I really like. His wife's got glasses now. It's really a cool look for her. I'm going to put, there's this article I have, I should have told, but this article from Politico, this is really interesting. I printed it up. It's about Ukrainian efforts to sabotage Trump from 2017. What does this have to do with classified documents, George Soros, Joe Biden, and how it all ties together? And I asked the question in my monologue tonight. This is a tough one. You get ready. Is Joe Biden a foreign agent? And I don't mean 007. I mean the legal term Foreign Agent Registration Act. Is Joe Biden acting on behalf of foreign governments in exchange for money funneled through his son, and then his political activities being dictated as such? I even have the whiteboard. Comes out tonight. Here's a little sneak preview. I can't show you too much. The whiteboard comes out. That was done on purpose. The whiteboard comes out tonight to walk it through for liberals. I think you're going to be convinced last night. We have the biggest, tonight on my show, we have the biggest political scandal of our time going on, that our president may in fact be a foreign agent.
Oh, you do not want to miss Unfiltered. It is a must-watch. Dan,
Always.
thank you for breaking it all down. What a great segment that was.
Man, Dan.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.